The scene is forever etched in the minds of those who know the story. A young woman, vibrant and full of life, found dead in her apartment. The official cause, suicide. But the details, the sheer, brutal details, tell a different story. 20 stab wounds, a locked door, and a family who refuses to believe the narrative spun by the authorities. This is the chilling case of Ellen Greenberg, a story that challenges the very foundations of how we understand death, mental health, and the relentless pursuit of truth. Ellen Greenberg was a bright light, a vibrant, 27-year-old elementary school teacher in Philadelphia. She was engaged to be married, had a loving family, and a promising future ahead of her. By all accounts, she was a picture of health, both physically and mentally. Her life, it seemed, was on an upward trajectory, a tapestry woven with love, ambition, and the promise of happily ever after. Then, on a cold January day in 2011, everything shattered. The world she knew, and the world she was about to build, evaporated in a single, devastating moment. The key players in this tragedy are many, but at the heart of it are Ellen herself and her parents, Josh and Sandra Greenberg. Josh and Sandra's love for their daughter was boundless, a bond that transcends time and the incomprehensible. They were the ones who raised her, cheered her on, and offered the unconditional support only a parent can provide. Their unwavering belief in their daughter's goodness and their relentless fight for justice became a testament to the enduring power of a parent's love. Then, of course, there is Sam Goldberg, Ellen's fiancé. The two were deeply in love and planning their wedding, excited for their future together. His world, too, was utterly upended. The timeline of events begins on January 26, 2011. On that fateful day, Ellen called her mother, Sandra, around 4:30 p.m. She complained of a headache and mentioned that she was going to take a nap. Those were the last words Sandra would ever hear from her daughter. Later that evening, around 6:30 p.m., Sam Goldberg, Ellen's fiancé, returned to their apartment. He found the door locked, and after getting no response, he contacted the building's maintenance staff to open it. The sight that greeted them was horrific. Ellen Greenberg was lying dead in the kitchen. The apartment, located in a residential building in Philadelphia, was quickly turned into a crime scene. The scene itself was what immediately triggered the skepticism of investigators. Ellen was found with 20 stab wounds, including several to her back, a detail that instantly cast doubt on the suicide verdict. The wounds were described as being inflicted with such force and in a pattern that seemed to defy the logic of self-harm. Some were deep, some were superficial, creating a disturbing and perplexing mosaic of violence. The kitchen, a place of domestic warmth and shared meals, had been transformed into a tableau of unimaginable violence. Dishes might have been left out from a recent meal, perhaps remnants of a life abruptly ended. The stillness of the room, punctuated by the grim discovery, held an eerie silence that screamed of a narrative far more complex than a simple act of despair. However, the autopsy report, performed by the Philadelphia Medical Examiner's Office, contained a number of critical points that fueled the concerns of Ellen's family and legal experts alike. The sheer number of stab wounds, 20 in total, was a major red flag. Some wounds were located in areas of the body, like the back, that would make self-infliction extremely difficult, if not impossible. The nature of the wounds suggested they were inflicted with varying levels of force and precision, a detail that often points to an external aggressor rather than a solitary act. The report, intended to provide clarity, instead wove a more intricate and disturbing puzzle. Josh and Sandra Greenberg, devastated by the loss of their daughter, found themselves in an agonizing position. They were not only grieving but also battling what they perceived as a flawed official conclusion. Their journey began as a personal quest for answers, fueled by love and a profound sense of injustice. They meticulously gathered every piece of information, sought out second opinions, and started to build a case against the official ruling. This relentless dedication began to attract attention, drawing in other concerned individuals and professionals who found the details of Ellen's death deeply troubling. Among those who became invested in the case were forensic pathologists and medical examiners who, upon reviewing the evidence, expressed serious reservations about the suicide ruling. They pointed to the specific nature of the wounds, the defensive wounds that are often absent in suicide cases, and the sheer number of injuries as evidence that contradicted the initial findings. The locked door, a key piece of evidence, could it have been staged? Could there have been another way to gain access or exit the apartment unnoticed? These questions began to chip away at the official narrative, suggesting that something far more sinister might have occurred. The city of Philadelphia itself, with its historic streets and diverse neighborhoods, provided a backdrop to this unfolding tragedy. Ellen's apartment, likely a space filled with personal touches, photographs, and the beginnings of a shared life with Sam, now held the chilling imprint of her final moments. The sounds of city life outside the apartment, distant sirens, the rumble of traffic, seemed to mock the profound silence within, a silence that had swallowed Ellen whole. The building itself, perhaps an older brick structure common in many Philadelphia neighborhoods, might have offered a sense of community and security, a place where such a brutal act seemed unimaginable. The emotional toll on Ellen's family was immense. The grief of losing a child was compounded by the struggle to have her true story told. Every setback, every dismissive response from authorities, likely felt like another stab wound to their hearts. Yet, their resilience became a beacon. They channeled their pain into action, not seeking vengeance, but the unvarnished truth. This unwavering resolve transformed their personal tragedy into a public crusade, bringing awareness to the complexities of forensic science, the challenges of investigating suspicious deaths, and the critical importance of not accepting easy answers when the details betray them. The case of Ellen Greenberg became a stark illustration of how a narrative, once set, can be incredibly difficult to alter, especially when it involves sensitive issues like mental health. The initial assumption of suicide, perhaps influenced by societal biases or a desire for a swift resolution, prevented a deeper, more critical examination of the evidence. Ellen's family fought not only against the official ruling, but also against the stigma that can surround mental health issues, a stigma they felt was being unfairly applied to their daughter. They insisted that their Ellen, a woman described as being full of joy and looking forward to her future, would never have taken her own life, and certainly not in such a violent manner. The legal victories that the Greenberg family eventually achieved were hard-won battles, representing a significant step towards acknowledging the doubts surrounding Ellen's death. While these victories did not erase the pain or bring Ellen back, they validated the family's persistent pursuit of truth and opened the door for further scrutiny. The case served as a powerful reminder that forensic evidence must be interpreted with meticulous care and that the voices of grieving families, when they speak of inconsistencies, deserve to be heard and investigated with the utmost seriousness. The case of Ellen Greenberg will continue to captivate and haunt us, reminding us that the quest for truth and justice is never truly over. It is a story that probes the dark corners of human experience, the fragility of life, and the extraordinary strength of parental love. And so, the mystery of Ellen Greenberg endures, a poignant reminder of a life cut tragically short, and a testament to the enduring power of love, resilience, and the unrelenting pursuit of the truth. Her story challenges us to look beyond the surface, to question the established narratives, and to believe in the possibility of uncovering the truth, no matter how deeply buried it may seem.